Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the instant match reaction. Wolves 3, Everton 0. The most disjointed performance of the season so far. Listen, I'm not going to go overboard about this performance because I'll be honest, I thought there was going to be one of these coming up over Christmas. I thought it was going to be at Spurs, and it was today. Everything just caught up with us today. I just thought the whole thing, that the players we've got missing, the players we had playing, the opposition, I just think everything just went wrong today, and we just have to put it to bed now. I just think it was one of those days, and it was always gonna happen. It was always gonna happen with the amount of games and the amount of players that we've used and the injuries. I thought he'd play to 3 at the back. He did, but it just didn't work. We just never got to grips with the team at all. I understood why he played 3 at the back or 5 at the back, because we've done it before. We've done it at Burnley, and we've done it at Villa in the Cup. So I didn't really have an issue with that. Michael Keane's played in a 3 at the back. I didn't really have an issue with that. But we just never looked comfortable playing it. I don't know whether because when we've played it before, the last time we played it, we had Dwight McNeil playing left wing back, but they did a lot better than us. They capitalised on the space. Players just looked shattered. They looked absolutely shattered, some of those players. You just looked leggy. They looked leggy from the start, and Wolves looked fresh. They looked energised, and that can be the way it is sometimes. They played on Wednesday night. I know they played on Wednesday night, but if they've used more players during the year during the season so far, then we've used 15 players, something like that. I know a few players have come off the bench, but when you're playing the same players week in and week out, it comes back, and it really does catch you. And I'm just glad that we got our points early on in this month. When there was a bit of freshness in the team, winning those games was really important, because this was always bound to happen. It's why I absolutely hate the Christmas period. I know people love it, and they love the tradition. I hate it for this reason. I hate the fact that you can lose to Corey for a couple of weeks and he misses 4 games of football. I hate that. I hate the fact that, one injury can mean your team gets thrown out, or a couple of injuries, and your team gets thrown out for not just 1 or 2 games, but 3-4 games. To me, the schedule is absolute nonsense, and it catches up with you in the end. It really does when you've got a small squad. The bigger teams, it's fine. They've got big squads and they can cope with it. And this Everton squad was always going to get caught at some point, and it was always predictable that when you looked at this, you looked at the month at the beginning, and you look at it and think, my God, you're not looking at the teams, you're looking at the amount of games. You're looking at the amount of games that you've got. And it really has caught up with us. And we haven't replaced the core. The manager, this is one of the... There's two... Listen, I think a lot of people probably think, I could go after Sean Dyche, but I think the manager has made us a good, solid team. But when you start picking apart at it, then it's a house of cards. The core is the major one in that. When he's not in the team, the manager doesn't know what to do because he doesn't have the players. Now, an alternative would be to have Harrison, but then you need someone to play wide, and he clearly doesn't trust Dan Juma, and we haven't got Ashley Young, so that's why I thought he was going to play 3 today. But the problem is McNeil and Harrison just didn't work, because they never stayed central enough. Mykolenko was playing more like a left back than a left wing back, and we ended up having a 5, and we ended up having loads of space in midfield. And they capitalised on it, and as I said, they just looked a lot more energised than we did. And every one of our players today just looked off it. you know, in different degrees. You know, I think every single one of them, there was some who looked terrible, and then there was some that just didn't look like themselves. And as I said, it catches up with you, and we end up not having a shot on target, and that's obviously woeful. But again, the reason I say about every single player is because you go on social media and it's about individuals, people picking out individuals. I don't think you can pick out any individual today and say, you know, they were worse than anyone else. You know, you can pick out. I've seen people having a go at Michael Keane. Well, what? James Tarkowski was garbage today. Patterson was garbage today. Branthwaite didn't have an easy game, a good game. Sorry. So it's easy to pick out individuals, but they just looked all poor today and massively offy, and that's why we've been beaten 3-0. I think the manager got it massively wrong at half time, being 1-0 down. He could have changed the game. I think that's where you can point a finger at the manager and go, that's where you earn your money. At half time, he could have made changes. He could have gone to a back four. He could have put Gomez in at half time and said, yeah, this 45 minutes. I think that's where the manager got it massively wrong at half time. You start a game, sometimes you start a game, you start with the game plan and you think it's going to work and it doesn't work for whatever reason. But you have an option to change it, and as I said, I think that's where the manager got it wrong. Listen, I don't have to sit here and make excuses for Sean Dyche. I could sit here and slag Sean Dyche off all I wanted, but I'm not, because you just need to take a step back and look at the situation of where we are. The squad is far too small, and again, that's because of what the club did with the finances, and that's to do with what people have done in the past and what people were on financially, and that was always going to come back and hurt us. The squad is far too small. That's something that needs improving massively, where every single one on the bench, or at least 5 at the bench, can come on and make a change in a game. That's something that needs improving, but that's not going to happen till we get the club financially get itself into a situation where it's on much more solid ground, and we've got rid of players who are on big contracts, and we stopped giving contracts out, and I think we have now contracts out to players who don't deserve them. So that'll all change, but that's going to take time. It was just a terrible performance, and hopefully we have to leave it there now. God knows what Thursday's going to be like, playing against, you know, Palace have won tonight, and it's the FA Cup and you want to win. But we've got 2 weeks now to our next Premier League game, and it is against Villa, and it is a tough game. But they have to get in as much. They have to get, obviously, the injured players back as quickly as possible. Hopefully, Decore will be back, because he does make a huge difference. But as I said, half-time, the manager had the chance to change it, and he didn't. And before you knew it, we were 2-0 down, and then we were 3-0 down, and we could have been 4-0 down, and we could have been 5-0 down. He had the chance to change it at half-time, and he didn't. And that's a major issue for today. If I'm going to have a go with the manager, that's what I'll have him a go. I'm not going to have a go with him for the team he decided to go with at the start, because he knows who's fit and who wasn't fit. You know, some of those players of the day run round for an entire game after Manchester City players. Andre Gomez has played 2 games, or certainly played 65, 70 minutes after not playing for 6 months or longer. And who knows what condition he was in. The manager made a decision. No, I've got no issue with that. You stick a team out and you think it's going to do something. But he made the mistake. He made the mistake of not changing it at half time. And as I said, people can make scapegoats all they want. People can have a go at Michael Keane. I don't think Michael Keane was any worse than Tarkowski today. I really don't. I really, really don't. He's an easy one to just point a finger at, but I don't think he was any worse than Tarkowski. I thought Tarkowski was terrible today. I didn't think Branthwaite had a good game. I thought, you know, Patterson didn't have a, you know, look at the second goal. What's Patterson and Tarkowski doing at the back post? What are they doing? So it's dead easy to go. They were all rubbish today. They all looked leggy. They all looked knackered. They all looked like they'd played 4 games in 2 weeks. And that's what happens. We need... it's whatever you... I don't know whether people... When we won the 4 games, everyone's expectations went through the roof and thought, oh, we're going to be sound. We're amazing. We're a great team. And then when you lose a few games, everyone's like, oh, we're the worst thing in the world. When we won the 4 games, we won them through hard work and organisation. And I think that hard work dropped off today massively because the players are nowhere near the levels. And when they're nowhere near the levels, the passing drops, the decision making drops, all of those things drop. And what we have to do now is we have to get those energy levels back in the next couple of weeks. As I said, I don't know what'll happen, what team he'll... I mean, Villa, I'd start Beto and Danjuma, and I'd start Seamus Coleman, and he'd start Gomez. You know, I'd give a few players who haven't been playing a run out because we need to get everybody back. We need to get everybody back to a level. Hopefully Ashley Young is back in the squad. Because again, we need every single player. We need every single player. I don't think there's going to be reinforcements coming. So we have to utilise every single player. And you've seen it today. This was just a game. Again, no Garner Gay in the squad. So Onana picked up a knock against Man City. He looked like he wasn't fully fit today. James Garner looks absolutely knackered. Every single one of them has got something, and it catches up with you. As I said, I don't think I don't think people need to overreact today. I really don't. I think a lot of people saw this performance coming, and it was always going to happen, and it's happened today, and we have to put it to bed. We have to put it to bed and move on to Thursday, and hope everyone learns from it. Hope the manager learns from it. I hope the manager learns that if something's not working, you change it before, because this is the one thing I would say about football and football fans. Football fans seem to spot things a lot quicker than people like football managers. It's so obvious, I think, that when you watch these games, that you know we're going to go 2-0 down before we get it back to 1-1. And I think that's where football fans, when they get grief off people for not understanding the game, blah blah blah, I think that's where football fans do understand football, when they look at it and go, we need to make a change here, otherwise if we don't, these are going to get another one and it's too late. I mean, the fact that the manager made those changes when we were 3-0 down was utter ridiculous today. Utter ridiculous. He should have made at least 2 changes at half time. So, listen, it is what it is. We have to move on. Thankfully, the other results have gone our way today. Thankfully, and we just have to hope that we can put this period of the season behind us. Because 2 weeks ago, everything was amazing and everything was rosy, and we were gonna get Europe. That's how quickly football turns, isn't it? That's how football quickly turns. 1 minute you're top of the world, the next minute we are where we are today. We've got to find that balance, haven't we? We've got to find that balance. So, as I said, we move on to Thursday. And we've got to. The manager needs to just put the players out who are fit, and if players are tired or players are carrying knocks, leave them out. So there you go. I don't. I don't know why people weren't really expecting that today. I was expecting our players to be shattered today, and they were. Sadly, we played against a decent team who look like they're heading in the right direction. But things change very, very quickly in football, as we've seen in the last month. We started the month, minus 10 points, just being beaten by Manchester United. Then you win 4 on the row, and the next minute you lose. Go out the cup and lose the next 3. So it is what it is. There you go. Right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be back very, very soon to do my player ratings because I actually am gonna go out tonight and enjoy myself rather than sitting wallowing. There you go. Check me out very, very soon. Make sure to give Baz's videos a watch as well. I think he'll be actually a lot angrier than me tonight. There you go. See you in a bit.